This is Meri at the Meri Atelier, and I am adjusting my camera here. I have to do this when I go live. I can't do it off camera. I have to set it up after I go live. Good morning. Welcome to my desk. This is Meri at the Meri Atelier, and today is Wednesday, August 9th. And you all know I've been sorting and cleaning the last 3 years. I'm making more of a mess than I'm getting clean, but no, I'm actually making good progress. Yesterday, I had all these smaller, medium-sized journals stacked up over on my buffet, and I'm going to move them. So I thought I would do a flip. Hi, Arlene. Good morning. Now, I'm only going to be on for, at the most, until 7:30 Central Time, but if I get through these before 7:30, I'll probably bop off. Hi, Becky. Good morning, Becky. I saw you did a video this morning. I'm going to go check it. I just saw it as I was coming on live here. So good morning, good morning, good morning. So let me adjust my tablet over here so that I can see folks come in. And I'm just going to flip through some of these journals. Oh my goodness, how they have accumulated. You know, we get to working on these, and if you're like me, you go from one thing to another. You go from one thing to another, and pretty soon they're all piled up. Now, some of these are larger, some of them are smaller. Most of them are medium-sized art journals. Most of them. Not all of them. And some of them are empty. Some of them are ones that have been gifted to me. And some of them are ones that I've worked partially in and I'm still working in. And some of them are ones that are actually finished. Let me fix the quality on my... Although it looks pretty good this morning, but it says it's at 480, but it still looks pretty good. Maybe it's all this gold. Maybe it's all the gold. Becky says she can't stay. She has to get out and get the lawn mowed before the city drops by with a bus. I understand completely, Becky. I understand completely. You do what you have to do. That's priority. So, but thanks for coming in and saying good morning. All right, I'm just going to start out. When I did the flip of the smaller journals, I knew that I had more. And I was specifically thinking of this one, which really turned out nice. This one I did with Tanya and Lisa when they did a whole series on different types of journal, and I call this my bank one. And it's got a 3-button elastic band for closure. And I've got a little dangle charm on the front. I really do like this one. This one turned out nice. This, of course, is a piece of upholstery. And let us be thankful for the good things in life. Yeah. And this was, I think, meant to be a bracelet, but I think it was a smaller bracelet for a young child. And it looks like I used glossy accents to put it on there. And I'm just going to flip through these. This is an art journal created as Meri worked along with the bank book project with, this was with Jerry, Tanya, and Lisa. Oh, yeah, it was with Tanya and Lisa, but I think Jerry was a part of it. And I'm not sure why it was called the bank book project. I'm not sure. Old newspaper, 1909, broken jewelry, ribbons, laces, and book text tell its story. Meri, the Meri Atelier, 1909. And then I have a picture of a lady here And this is a newsprint. Take the Wings of the Morning. And I was playing with my calligraphy back then. Kind of like that. Have you seen Ludwig's display of fall millinery? If you haven't, make it a point to inspect the great exhibit. Without doubt, it is the largest, complete, and most beautiful stock of popular priced millinery, which are hats, ever shown in this city. Every new shape and trim is here in a variety that's sure to please. Ludwig's 4-cent store, Scranton, Pennsylvania. And here's a ribbon. She could no more avoid it than a bee. I need another E there. Oh, bee, B-E-E. Than a bee could avoid being buzzy. And here again, I've been playing with my calligraphy. I want to do more of that. This turned out better than I remember. And here's a 10-day sale on ladies' coats and suits, and I have some tags in here. This was an envelope that when I was playing with my fine liner, and I need to play with my fine liner more. I did this lace coming down. Here's a $1 million bill. Somebody sent me, I think it was Mitzi sent me a $1 million bill. Oh, it's a $1 million bar. I don't know if this is the one Mitzi sent me, but it's obviously on a tag, which goes in there. Oh, it's fun to get these out and look at them. Nancy hung several new dresses on her side of the closet. Well, Nancy. And this is just a hat pin in there. The Lyric Theater, motion pictures, and new illustrated songs. Good morning, everybody who's come in. Becky says, I will leave you playing and the cats will be listening. Wow, okay. Callie and Howie and Tippy, good morning to you. Isn't that cover neat? And then with these buttons on it, when I have the closure, it really completes this journal. Hi, Leah. Good morning, Leah. Hi, Dar. Good morning, Dar. It's good to see you. Arlene says, Mary, was that when we altered the old-fashioned bank books most of us found similar sized to use? It might have been. It was with Tanya and Lisa did a whole series on different types of journals. And I think Jerry at Recycle Parts for Art back then joined in on that one. And I used a 1909 newspaper and a textbook, and then different things I found along the way. The Lyric Theater here, some old lace. The lights from the window fell strongly on Kate. She was wearing her evening dress of smoky gray and soft fabric, overshining silk with knots of dull blue velvet and gold lace here and there. She had dressed her hair carefully. She appeared what she was, a specimen of healthy, vigorous, clean womanhood. And then I have a ribbon with a dangle hanging down and at the bottom of the book. Williams Bakery Goods, received fresh every day, A.B. Kinback. So there's advertisements in there. Here's where, this is probably a technique that Tanya and Lisa were doing, where you cut out a piece and let the inside show through the inside of the, that's just probably a piece off of a floral or something. Let me throw this away. If I can find my trash sack. Yeah, I got a lot of journals, you guys. There's a lot here. I'm going, where do these all come from? Minutes before, there had been a tap on that and it must have been heart. She slowly lifted her eyes and faced a tall, slender man there. The queen of Mexican actresses. In the brightness of a star, for at times apart, and not all of its light is bent away from the eye. It has been noticed also that a star's color has something to do with its twinkling on account of different refractivities of the different colors. A white or blue star, such as the dog star, twinkles. Now I got a piece of lace up here. And then there's some articles in here that I cut out of the paper. What makes the stars twinkle? And a railroad timetable. And what's on this side? Sweet revenge food that looks like a part of a story. I think I just cut it out for to have something to put in here. And it goes in the pocket here. And look like there's some local news tucked in here. Some more articles. I'm not going to read them all. And here is the Archibald something or other. And there's a lady here to place this. This looks like just I used newsprint. I like that lady, and I gave her a lace collar there. And some more timetables. Now, I think some of this, like this came out of a little memo book, so that could relate to the bank book. And this is the Archibald Bank. The Archibald Bank, I think this is what this is. Money and junk. Money and junk. Well, then I'm rich. The stuff is always in demand and the profits are large. Up and down the dirty back alleys drives the junk man, singing his mournful nasal cry, loading his rickety wagon with broken scraps and pieces of old iron, an object of pity or of ridicule to most of its uninformed public. Talking about a junk man. A dime deposit and discount in the bank. This has more to do with being a bank book than others. And this is just a collage of, looks like maybe a cliff here with houses up on top and boats down in there. Here's a pocket. I'm sure Tanya and Lisa were showing how to make this pocket. And I put a button card in it. That worked out good. And an advertisement. 10% discount sale. There's a button card. And this was a piece of an old quilt that I found. And I wrote quilt. And I slow stitched around the edge here. But this, of course, was already stitched. And here I was playing with my fine liner on an envelope. This is all done with the fine liner in here, white paint. My dearest Kate, I'm a day late with this because I told you I have no schooling, and in writing a letter is where I prove it. So I never write them. But it was not fair for you to not know what kind of a letter I would write if I did write one. So here it is, very bad, no doubt, but the best I can possibly do, which has nothing at all to do with my passion for you and the awful time I will have until I hear from you. If you can stand for this, telegraph me, and I will come on the first train, and we will forget this, and I will never write another letter. I love this. With dearest love from Mother and from me, and all the love of my heart, forever your only John Jardine. John Jardine. Now that's what I call a love letter. And I tucked it in here, and then I have a picture of a photograph of a young man and a young woman. And Saturday candy, 29 cents a pound. And this is just some paper, a little paper. Note to self, eat more chocolate. Saturday candy. And I think this is just rest blank paper, kind of a notepad on the back. This was a fun journal to do. This is one of my favorite ones. If I were asked to submit an art journal for, you know, an exhibit or something, I would probably use that one. All right, I do have a box behind me. I'm going to put these in. All right, this I think is a glue book, and I don't think it's finished. I'm not sure. We'll see. Hi, Paula. Good morning, Paula. She said she also, Arlene says, I actually found a bank book of that one. Let's see, who else came in? Paula says, good morning, Meri. I'm waking up with coffee. I was up at 4 o'clock this morning, made my coffee, had coffee, and I've been crocheting on my ornament afghan that I'm doing, following the Crochet Crowd tutorial. The first thing you do is crochet the centers, or he's recommending crocheting the centers. And you need 84 of them, and I've got 22 done now. Yeah, this is a glue book made, I think Shelley, Crafting Mamas, got me started doing this. And this is a magazine, and of course I did the faux leather technique here and put a piece of, I think this was a jelly printed piece of paper here. And then you fold your pages vertically. More jelly print. This actually turned out nicer than I remember. Here, this is an envelope I put in as a flip. Maybe I did finish this. I can't remember. Here's a 1-cent stamp and some stamps beneath the magazine page. This was a glue book. QA, floral. We got Robin Hood down in here. And I know I'm zoomed in a little bit for these taller ones. Sorry about that. Bicycle. I think I did finish this one. Or I got something on every page. This was a tissue paper. I think I got that at, oh, what's her name? Juggles. Well, this one turned out better than I thought. Now I'm liking it as I go back and look at it. Sometimes when you do these glue books and everything, you are so into it that you don't, you know, this one's kind of blank. But then it doesn't matter because it's got the magazine stuff on it. You don't realize, you get so into it that it's just in front of you all the time. And when you come back and look at them, I think you enjoy them more. This was a Magnolia journal magazine, Magnolia, you know, Gaines, Joanne, and what's his name? Gaines, down in Texas, Waco, Texas. And this was an advertisement or an article, and these gals were sitting out on the porch with their baskets, and I just made silhouettes out of them. That was fun to do. Birds, and this I think was an art journal advertisement. Girl and her hula hoop, and these are washi tapes here, X's and O washi tape. I'm kind of liking this one now. This was just, somebody sent this to me. I don't know who. I think. This is that paper sack with, this was a fussy cut I had. This is a flip here, a pocket, and inside of it is an envelope with a lady in there. I'm not going to take it all out. A napkin page. I think that's glued down. This was another, I put a washi tape over the edge here. Sets off on a spree. I like this one. She's dancing. got a 1979 In God We Trust Liberty. Looks like it's coming loose there. Gonna lose your money. And there's just some more fussy cuts. Maybe I'll sit down and do some fussy cutting this afternoon. I feel like fussy cutting. Here's another one of those envelopes I did. Calendar page. Ah, I'm kind of enjoying this one now. Better than I thought. Book text flip. Books. The lady on a bicycle. Happy Mail. Story. You wouldn't dare call Sweetie. All the little girls in their Easter dresses. Secret ingredients. These were some figurines. A fussy cut. Bookshelf. This is kind of wrinkly in here, but I don't mind. Whether for Valentine's Day or a casual celebration, handmade, my one and only heart. And then we got a man and a woman and a heart up here and floral down in here. Just add friends. And this was one of my favorite ones. This old man in these boots with the knees, and I put a piece of lace there. Just add friends. And here's one of my, oh, those dolls that open up, those Russian dolls that open. I don't think this opens. I got it glued down. Piece of lace. And then my last one is another, you know, those Russian nesting dolls. There's a word for it. It doesn't come to mind right now. And that's the end of that. That one really turned out nice. That one is done, which surprises me. It turned out nice. And then I tied it with this black fabric that has Roman numerals on it in gold. Really turned out nicer than I remember. Oh, dear me. Let's put it behind. Let's look at chat again. Let me refresh. Let's see if I lose my chat. Oh, let's do Becky's. Go down to the bottom first and read up. Yeah, Matryoshka. Thank you, Arlene. Those Russian nesting dolls are Matryoshka dolls. Thank you. The tissue paper's cool. Isn't it cool? Hi, Dar. Riri. Good morning, Riri. It's good to see you. Welcome in. Welcome, welcome, welcome. How are you doing, my lady? Paula Loves Art says, so fun seeing them. It is fun to go back and look at them after you haven't seen them for a while. They've been sitting over on that buffet, and I really needed to move them. All right, here's another one that I did on a whim using Crayola wrappers. And I think I did different Crayola techniques in here. Like drippage, I let my Crayola, I melted my wax and let it drip. And here where, this was the fun one. Because you get one of those big Crayolas and you melt it into a puddle. And then you just take your Crayola and it splatters. You have to have something on your desk because it does splatter. If you melt a pool of hot wax and you take your Crayola, you take one of those larger ones. I wouldn't recommend doing it with the smaller one unless you splatter lightly. And here's where I was playing with what I call gradation. The darker color and kind of trying to come down into the lighter colors here. Here I mixed some blue and yellow, and I think I got a green. Playing with melted crayons. Here is just melted. This is melted, and it looks like I unmelted here. I'm not sure. This one's melted. Normal coloring with not doing anything with it. I just said normally coloring. And it looks like I put tape. Yeah, tape mask. I wrote on the back, a tape mask. I put different pieces of tape. Some of it was ripped. You know, washi tape, how it rips. That one really turned out nice. Scraping top layer of wax paper. putting it on there and scraping it from your wax paper. And here I was showing how I can write on it. Stamping on crayon here, up here. I stamped a dragonfly up here. Doesn't look like I stamped on this one. I'm not sure what I was doing there. Here is just, oh, this is metallic crayon in here. I don't know if you can see the sparkle and shine, but it is metallic, different metallic crayons. Wow, I'm kind of happy with this. And this is where I did some on fabric, melted crayon on fabric. This is a piece of fabric. And this is where I did black lines. No, I think yeah, that was done with my fine liner, I think. Let's see what I wrote on the back. I write melted wax with embossing powder. Oh, that's embossing powder. Oh, that wasn't fine liner. That's embossing powder. That did pretty good. Those black lines are embossing powder. And I guess this is a collage. That lady's missing an eye. What did I write on the back? Melted crayon collage. Or maybe I never had an eye there. Looks like I need an eye there, though. Kind of like her. And here's a bird that I did. I don't do very good birds. Looks like some floral on, what did I say on the back? Melted crayon over a napkin back. So that floral is a napkin. Oh, a white napkin. The floral is melted crayon, and the napkin back is the white that I put over the text. And what did I say on this one? Faux stained glass melted crayon. So I put the crayon on acetate, piece of acetate here on this side, and then I flipped it over, and I'm calling it faux stained glass, fake stained glass. And then there's just a pumpkin that I did that I cut out, and that's the end of it. Those are melted crayon techniques. That really turned out better than I remember. A lot of them turned out better than I remember. Here's a small one, and I don't know how, let me look at this. Oh, I think this came from Janet Baum. Let me take this off. I don't think I did this one. I think this one came from Janet Baum. It's got an elastic band here. I think this is from Janet Baum. She sent this to me. Let me open it up. And it's mostly, I don't know if I worked in this or, I think this is all her work. I don't think I worked in it. Doesn't that look like Janet? A music page. I don't work this neat. I'm more sloppy in my work. And different textures of pages here. Some music, texture. Is there a page in here? I think there is. That looks like me, though. Did I work in this? I recall some of this stuff. I might have. I didn't do this. Janet did that. I might have done a few pages in here. Here's some paste paper. Some more paste papers. I got the paste paper. Well, I think Janet sent. See, here's the little girls in the plaid dresses. Some gold. Some more paste paper. I can't remember if I worked in this or if these came from Janet. But it doesn't matter. And it's just more of a journal, just showing different techniques and different backgrounds. Paste papers in there. I got paste papers from Becky, but these might have come from Janet. I don't I don't recall, to tell you the truth. I'd have to go back. If I worked in it, I have a video of it. This looks like something I might do. And here's a man and a woman, and there's the end of it. I know this came from, and it looks like my closure stuck onto this. Here, which I don't mind in a way. But this came from Janet Baum a few years ago. Thank you, Janet. She doesn't come here anymore. All right. This is just an ATC, and I was looking at it, and it's a card. It says, make pretty things. I know I did this. I dated it. I dated it in here. Meridel Abrams, 2016. Be happy. I'm going to keep that out. Maybe I'll put it in one of these. Now, this one came from Becky. And I forget how it opens. How does this open? It's a folder journal. It opens with Velcro. Becky loves Velcro. And I haven't worked in it. She says, Dear Meri, see, I like when it's documented. I haven't done anything in it. It's just blank pages. It says, I decided I wanted you to have this journal I created on our Goodwill Thrift Challenge last year. The paper is linen resume paper, perfect for journaling, thoughts or verses. In loving friendship, Becky McCauley, Aunt Beck's Creations. So this is resume paper in here. And then she put a fuzzy fur closure on it with her beloved Velcro. And this, of course, is the Oriental Caboodle that I did with Rosemary, which I have more to do, but I have quite a bit done in here. I used painty paper, and I ran across when I was cleaning a lot of my Oriental stuff. But to tell you the truth, it really doesn't need much because that came from Rosemary. The birds were a napkin from Rosemary. And some Oriental, I did some stenciling and dragonflies. This one, see, when I put stuff on here, I collage on that beautiful background. And what I did after I created my pages, I went in with a gold wash. So all of these pages have well, most of them have kind of like a gold sheen on them, like this, like that. And even the ones that are green still have a gold wash on them. The green kind of falls through, but this is one of my favorite stencils here. But I could put Oriental work on these, but they're just pretty the way they are. Here's a page that I completed. And this is a flip out. If I can get it to work here. You pull on the bottom and it flips out like this. I think it goes one more, like that. That was a technique that Rosemary was teaching. No, it really turned out better than I remember. These journals turned out better than I remember. A lot of stenciling on painty paper. This is just a card, an ace of spades, hanging here with the pretty birds. I've got a Oriental lady sleeping there. I think I got that out of a book. And this was a napkin, and I collaged it down, but I couldn't see her face, so I painted it in white like a Keisha doll. I painted over that. Another think this was a napkin too. I can't remember. Some blossoms. Another completed page here. Here's another one of those expanding pages where you just pull. I got to get a hold of it here. Now this one, sometimes you got to, you know, after they've sat in the book for a while, you got to convince them to open up, but they do open up. And you don't put anything. They're open on both the top and bottom, so you really don't put anything in them. It's just a page technique. And here's one with a pocket here. Pocket in there. I don't have anything in it. Some more of the birds here. I have a lot of Oriental that could go in here, but I have trouble collaging over the stenciling. Here's a dragonfly and a butterfly, and you open the flap and there's a lady in there, an older lady with the butterflies. This is a completed page layout. It looks like I was doing some sashiko on paper. A little flip here and a photo. More Oriental. This is toward the end. This came off of a magazine, travel magazine, and this came from Arlene. And I got a few more pages here that I have just the background. I have trouble putting things over all the background. I could do some flips though, because the object of the journal was an expanding spine. See, it expands in there, and it could certainly hold more. So I might put some flips in. Here's some dangles that I put on here. And this was a bird that, I don't think I did this. I think this was the paper that I did my cover off of. This was part of the kit, the caboodle kit. And I just have a hard time putting things on here. I think I can put flips. I might come back and work on this some more in the future. And here's the inside cover. But I did the cover, and I did this cover with a foiling pen. Looks like it lost its little paintbrush stick here. Well, there was another stick in there. And I could certainly put some more in here. But there's the Oriental caboodle, and yeah, that doesn't go with them. I'll put that down in the box. And here are some paste papers, and I'm pretty sure that Becky sent me these, and I haven't used them yet. Let's see. Well, that said Susan Baker on the envelope, so either Susan Baker or Becky. Not all of them are paste papers. Some of them, well, this might be a paste paper background with a, I don't know if Becky did these or if Susan Brown did them. I don't remember getting anything from Susan Brown, but there they are. And I'm stepping on something down here. A red ribbon. Maybe that went with that Oriental. Stepping on something else. What is that? Oh, that's just trashy trash. And here, my friends, I talked about this the other day, but I couldn't find it. Zine. Look how crooked my camera is. How does it get so crooked? Zoop. Is that straighter? This is 1 year Tanya did zines every time she did a live stream on Sunday afternoons, and I'd sit there and do zines with her. And I had a lot of zines, and Janice Glines made me this zine holder which is now bulging open. So I have zines. Some were given to me. Flowers everywhere, flowers, flowers everywhere. I think this might have been by Janet Glines, and I put it in the front because she gave me the book. Isn't that neat? She used stickers. Flowers, flowers everywhere, in the garden, in my hair, in the basin, at the store, on the table, on the door. What a lovely time of year, flowers blooming, bringing cheer. Pinterest quote, a zine by Jan Glines, July of 2020. Flowers, flowers everywhere. And I don't know if I'm going to take all of these out. I just wanted to show the journal that's bulging open. And I have more zines that I couldn't get in here. I was showing them the other day. This one was done, I think, with crayon, melted crayon and stenciling. And I scratched through some stencils, scratched through the melted crayon here. Of course, you do it as a flat paper and then you fold it. This really turned out good. There's some more of the birds. That was a bird stencil. I'll pull out some of them. The Little Darling Spring has run away. This one wasn't one that I did. Let's see. The Little Darling Spring has run away. This is a watercolor blot. I think this was done by Tanya. It looks like it was sent to me. The sunshine grew too hot for her to stay. She kissed her sister Summer, and she said, "When I am gone, you must be queen instead. Now reigns the lady, round whose feet 1,000 fairies flock with blossom sweet." It's not signed, but I didn't do that. Somebody sent it to me. I think it's Tanya's, but I could be mistaken. And this really works good. I have it loaded. It's a fully loaded journal. Got to get it back in here, though. How did I get that in there? There we go. It was a book band. And I'm going to put this one behind it. It's just a black paper. Maybe I should put it over here. It's just a green paper. It makes you want to pull every one of these out and look at them, but I'd be here all morning. Hopeful. Somebody sent me this one. This is not mine. Hopeful. Grateful. Faith. Blessed. Thankful. It's a Zentangle one. Together. Positive. Linda Hyam. Here's a bird one, or a house one. That looks like one I did. Ooh, that one's blank. This one is one of my favorite. Julie Fayfound Bowser does these cut pages. It's closed with a bobby pin here. Cut lace pages. And so this is a stencil one. Isn't that cool? It really looks like it fell apart, but it's still pretty cool. See, it's a stencil like that. And it goes like this is how it goes. But since it's kind of fragile, it'd be neat to have these different colors, but this is what I did at the time. I know what it is. And then I have a closure on it. A bobby pin closure. And I closed these little legs on my bobby pins. I got to doing that, and I don't like them closed because they're hard to slip on. Whoops. There we go. Looked like I tucked 2 of them in this. Let's see, was there a blank page over here someplace? Let's put this in here. I shouldn't pull all of these out. They're fun to do, though. Different zines in here. Some I did, some are gifts. This looks like a big thick one here. Embrace the weirdness. Embrace the weirdness. I don't know if it'll even come out. I'm not going to fool with it. Here's a thick, pretty thick one. They get kind of thick. This looks like something I did. It was a collaged one. Be your beautiful self. Collaged with different stickers and stuff. It's pretty thick for a zine. You really want to keep your zines kind of thin. Friends are like the sun in the spring, shining the light that makes our souls bloom. Here's a doll one that I did. A doll zine. I used different dolls. It looks like I did it on waxed paper. How does that go? My gold is sticking. Or it just has a doll face, it looks like. It's all stuck together. Wax. You would think the wax paper would keep it from sticking, but it didn't. The wax paper is all on it's sticking along the edges. Annie, a little orphan Annie, and a little ribbon doll there. It's kind of small pieces. Let's see, this one should open here. In here somewhere. There. The gold, I used gold paint on the edge, and when you do that, it sticks. Yeah, where did I get it from? Someplace in here. So there is the zine. This is one of my favorites. I'll show you this one, and then we'll move on. This was done from a history book. And this is the Forgotten American Indian. And you pull it out. You pull them out, and then you can open them up full-sized. Native American, Forgotten American Indians. And this is Lady Godiva and her horse. Her white horse. She needs to go back in there. And this is St. Patrick. And he opens up this way. St. Patrick's. And then I cut this out of a history book. And I saved the little text about Lady Godiva and St. Patrick. And I saved the text so you know what it's all about. And this is the Trojan horse. Has all the warriors inside of it. You would think with the windows they would know somebody was in there. What are those windows on that horse's stomach for? Here's Cleopatra. She's just a little, she's laying down. She's just a little one here. She opens up like that, Cleopatra. And then the text about her. This was a fun one to do. And I didn't know when I started doing it that I was going to do it this way, and it turned out to be one of my favorite zines. William Tell. Here's this is glued in, this is the young boy, and here's the father shooting his bow and arrow, shooting the apple off the young boy's head. The Legend of William Tell. History books are fun to do when you treat them right. Who was he? The prophet. Who was he? Nostradamus. Nostradamus, and the end is Genghis Khan at the back. And I didn't have time for, I didn't have a place for Genghis, so I just put Khan and cut out Genghis and put it in there. Here's Genghis Khan, but I like how they open up. You can kind of take them out and look at them. So that was a fun one to do. This is one of my favorite ones. Where did he come from? We'll put him back in here. So thank Janice Glines for the zine holder that is bulging. Patty zine holder. It's one of my favorite. Oh, that's crooked. I bumped it here. This is one I made. I don't think I've worked in it. I made it out of that tissue paper. And it needs to be worked in. It's just a journal. A paper journal with using junk papers. I made this one. So that's an empty one. And I think this one is the other part of it. I made them. It's just fun to make these things. Here's a pattern, paper, different papers. I have 2 signatures in here. Didn't do such a bad job on those. And here's another one. I don't know if I made this one or I don't think I did because I generally don't bind like this. I think this was gifted to me. Oh, look. This is a flow journal. Did this come from... This was gifted to me. This might have been... This is one of Shannon Green's, I think. And it was gifted to me, or it's Shannon Green style. And it's just the cover, the vinyl cover, and you've got a place for stuff in there, and a folder, and a little folder here, and then you put your papers and your pen holder there. So, there we go. There's those. And you saw this one. I'm going to put it in. This is the little tea bag one. I'm going to put it in the box with the others. And here is my very first Society of Idea Collector journal. And so this one really belongs with the larger journals. It's not a medium-sized one. It's a composition book. Let me refresh and come out. Well, let me go down to the bottom of chat first, and then I'll refresh. Hi, Gail. Donofrio, it's good to see you. Welcome in. Dar is here. Riri is here. Did Roy pop in? Hi, Mina. There's Mina. I saw Mina yesterday at Pearl's Finds, Pearl Brown, her sale. She had a pop-up sale, and I thought, I'm just going to go in and look. And you know, you never go to a sale and just look. But I didn't spend too much money. I was looking for fabrics, and she said, I have fabric. And let's see what else. She was selling some stamps, and Debbie Ham was selling some snippets, and what else was she selling? I bought some things from Debbie. I can't remember. I bought some other things from her. Mina's here. Gail's here. Hi, Bootsy. Roy. Let's see. Roy says, I have friends that are happy with e-cards and friends who totally appreciate handmade cards. Time and talent are appreciated by them. That's cool, Roy. Arlene says, Roy, last year I was part of a group that made a zine all week. Oh, a zine a week, all Christmas themed. Then we sent them instead of cards. Oh, that's interesting. Roy says, how special, Arlene. It's time to start on those holiday crafts. It really is. Gail says, Gail Donofrio, I haven't seen you for such a long time. Thank you for stopping by. She says, good morning, all. Good morning, Meri. So good to be here. Meri and coffee. Riri says, good morning, Gail. Gonna make me some decaf. Here's where Roy popped in. He says, those are beautiful pages, Meri. It makes me think we need to rethink making greeting cards. Nice commercial greeting cards are hard to find. People love getting snail mail cards. You know, I need to do that more. Maybe we'll do that. Maybe I'll start on some Christmas cards. I don't know. I'll have to think about it. I got so much on my desk, but Roy, you make a good point. Painted paper greeting cards would be a great way to clean out a stash, Arlene says. This is where Mina popped in. She says, I'm late, but I'm here. I'm late. I'm only going till 7:30. I don't think I'll get through all these journals, to tell you the truth. I might have to pick this up again tomorrow. Just leave my room a mess. They're all over the floor behind me. This is where Rory popped in. Happy hump day, Meri, and a group hello and hug to all of you. Mark is here. Mark. Becky messaged me and she said, I tried to tell you, Meri, several times, and so did Mark, that he likes to be called Eternity. So, Mark, you are now Eternity. Hello, Eternity. I missed it. It flew right above my head. I didn't even know it was over there, Mark. Or Eternity. Hi, Ruth. There's Ruth Lamb. Good morning, Ruth. Aw, good morning. Good morning. Hi, Joyce. And there's Joyce. I missed a lot of you. Good morning, Joyce Mori. Joyce had a birthday yesterday. I hope it was a good one, Joyce. I hope you had a good birthday. Dara's here, and Riri, and Paula. And I think I'm up to where Arlene told me that it was a Matryoshka doll. Now, I'm going to refresh and see if I lose my... Nope, I didn't. So it was probably my browser that was causing all of the... luckily, I didn't complain to YouTube. What's going on? What is YouTube doing now? It's your browser. Refresh it, Meri. These rubber bands, surprisingly, they're called folder rubber bands. Usually they dry up and break, but these surprisingly are pretty good. Dee Dee Willingham, bless her heart. Let me go down to the bottom of chat here. Oh, I guess I'm there. Joyce said she had a lovely birthday. Dee Dee Willingham, Society of Idea Collector, got me started. Now, this is nothing great. It's just great because it's my very first one. Society of Idea Collector. And here we go. There's the light bulb. And what do I have in here? Some little pocket flips with... Oh, these are stamps. I think these were sent to me by Dee Dee. Ink bottle and eyeglasses. These are stamps. You can take them out and lift them up and stamp with them if you want. I'm not going to. And here's some more here. Who, what, when, where, why? Of course, now I've changed. I had so many, like I had the what ifs, why nots, and all of that. But now I put them under one category called wonder. So I have who, what, when, where, why, wonder. And then under the category of wonder, I put why not, what if, whenever. And then I put things like lists and stories, and all those categories go under wonder for me. And I was learning a lot from Dee Dee at that time. August, notes and actions. Now this, of course, is from Dee Dee. I can't even read it. Notes from Dee Dee, Part 1, Society video. I watched her video and I took notes. You do that when you watch a Society of Idea Collector from Dee Dee. I got so inspired. August 1, August 2, August 3, 4, 5, and 6. So every time I watch a video, I'd take notes. And here's a pen stamp. August 9. Let's see. August 7th. Working on pages for June ATC book for ATCs. Maybe library card. I went through what I created so far in my 2017 composition journal. So I think this is a 2017. Do I have a year? I have the dates, but do I have a year on this? I surely have the year in here. I think this is a 2017. Yeah, 8/2017. Tabs. These are all notes from Dee Dee. I'm not going to sit here and read them all. My ideas for a tab list. So, and then Dee Dee was talking about how to put together a Society of Idea Collector and how to have different tabs and colors. And obviously I have some papers in here, and it looks like a little travel journal stuck in here. Those out for now. So here are the tabs I ended up with. Art, homework, lists. Homework was from Dee Dee. She was assigning us homework. And I did my homework because I had such a fun time. When I enjoy something, you know, I go at it. And just more notes and stuff. Ideas all over the place. I could probably sit here and here's a little note from Dee Dee. She always does this XO Society of Idea Collecting Friend. She always put that little smile on it. Dee Dee Willingham. Don't censor your journal. Use your old art, your own old art. And here's the Halloween one. We had lists from Halloween. She would do group lists. And here's October and September. Out of line, here's my urban sketching mini series. I have it dated in here, little list. And here's where I did that spider story. What was the name of my spider? Can't even remember here, but here's where I was doing the sketches. And I have this out here. What did they name that spider? I can't remember. Here he is. Sebastian. Sebastian! My little Sebastian spider story. This is all, you see, I drew an owl, and I think I did this on great big brown paper poster, but I did little preparatory sketches in here. Sebastian. And here's one I did, and I actually photocopied it. Took it to the library. Didn't have a printer out. This is all about Sebastian, how I came up with the story for Sebastian. We hit that COPPA thing in YouTube, and so I demonetized it. So if I should get that out and play it. It won't play. It won't come up when you demonetize, when you have COPPA rules, because I really wrote this as a children's story, and you know, YouTube went through that COPPA thing, and I didn't want to get demonetized for it, so I didn't want them to take my channel away because I wrote a children's story. Although I think it would probably be okay now to bring it back, because that's all settled down, and I could say, well, it's a children's story, but it really wasn't. I don't have my audience. I don't have any 4- and 5-year-olds watching my channel. Most of my audience are adults way into their 50s, 40s, 30s, 40s, 30s on up. Here is homework. Homework from Dee Dee. Subtopics. We did people, place, and things, and then we did all the... She was talking about subtopics. Here's letters. This one would be interesting to revisit. Why I chose letters, because I was writing a lot of letters, and then I tapered off. I want to do more. Society of Idea Collector. So a lot of your Society of Idea collecting is not meant to be pretty art. It's meant to, look, I have a rubber band in there. Here's where I was getting into mind mapping. Pen Plus Gear metallic. Here I was doing some swatching of pens, Faber-Castell metallic and shades of gray here. Shades of gray and Pen Plus Gear. Here's mind map of lists. I was doing these little mind maps. Childcraft book, I was into doing that. Bunch of doodles. Oh, this was my Christmas. I was doing carving. Carve December. Boy, that's coming up too. I have to think what I want to do for that. Mini composition books. Just all sorts of notes. This is more about letters, I think. Mind mapping. I can't read my writing. Group research. Leonardo da Vinci Journal online. Loving Boy. Title for something or other. That's when you scribble, you gotta remember, you may not be able to read it later. Here's some tip-ins. I think this was a Thanksgiving stamp. I was sketching stamp stuff. Sketches, and there's some blank pages. Here where I wrote a letter, I wrote a story. Oh, this was a dream. I had a dream on August the 20th, 2017. I had a dream, I remember just before I woke up. In my dream, I'd just been hired to work for a company. I was assigned to a man who was known to be a genius. That's funny. I went to the office, and his office was fascinating, intriguing, and mysterious. I found my desk and began to settle in, praising God in a little song. And then I wrote my little song. I'm not going to sing it. I was pulled away by a human resource advisor and trying to explain that I attended the University of Nebraska but did not have a degree or graduation. I withdrew from the university and went to a business school. But I had an associate degree. This is all in my dream. I had an associate degree from a school of business. The advisor said, "You have a degree now," and handed it to me. Wow. I graduated in my dream. I instantly had the BFA, which had been denied me. We won't even talk about that, because I disagreed with my teachers on the style of teaching. I said that it should have been given to me 40 years ago. Funny I would dream that. When I went back to my desk, my genius boss was going through my things, trying to find new material. I wondered if he was going to read my list of praises. And this is my list of praises up here. I got my religion in there. This genius was going through my desk trying to find some new material for his inspiration. I wondered at something them getting for me the BF. Oh, I wondered if at the ease of them getting the BFA for me, I recognized genius as a seeker. Huh. And then I put lost genius seeker, list of praises, restoration. He is there, he is there. Those are my praises. That was my dream. That's kind of an interesting dream. It's fun to read that. I wanted my BFA, I guess. Quest for August prompt. My year 2017, hot and cold. It was one of those March days when the sun shines hot and the wind blows cold. This is a quote from a book. And when it is summer, in the light and winter in the shade. Charles Dickens, Great Expectations. You'll find what you are looking for. Jean Robertson. Oh, I think I was writing, I was taking notes from a video, I think. Once Upon a Time in America. Oh, do you know how much I like Society of Idea Collectors? This much. This is my final draft for my Sebastian story. I'm not going to read it all, but I had scribbled it out and then I edited it and I came up with a final draft here when I made my video. That's how much work. That's how much work went into that video series. The Sebastian, the little spider that went to the moon to trick or treat on the moon. That's how much work went into it behind the scenes. Here's a word mind map on the word lemon skate. You'll have to look it up. I'm not gonna read all that. What am I doing here? Another mind map on projects. Didn't do much in there. This is all projects. I guess I didn't document my projects, but I certainly did a lot. Here's my fine line fun. I might get back to my fine liners. When did you let go? What did you let go of that changed your life? These are just different quotes. Can you paint on denim? Our next question. No, these were questions. This was the question section page. Our next question. If you had an extra hour in your day, what would you do with it? What dream have you not yet mustered up the courage to pursue? Well, it must have been that genius one. What adventure would you love to share with your best friend? Well, here you go, guys. You're all my best friend. And I'm sharing with you my art journaling adventure, my Society of Idea Collectors. So it just goes on and on and on. On and on and on. These were sketches that I did for some stamps I was going to do. Art lists, mind maps, Society of Idea Collectors. These are the tabs. And for some reason, that's torn out. You guys, you need to get a Society of Idea Collector. You don't have to call it a Society of Idea Collector. You can call it a idea book. I've seen people call them idea books. I've got some blank pages in here. How did that happen? But this is the way, and look, I did this in 2017, and it's 2023. This was 6 years ago. And you come back and you look at it, and it amazes me. What was I thinking at that time? All of this stuff. Here's a Halloween series I did of let me turn this around. Of a wolf. I did this on different days. October 31st, there's a wolf, and somebody told me to put fangs in the wolf and have it drip blood. And I got this. Here's the spider here. And he's got a skeleton face with fangs. Here he is down here. I've got a trap door. I think this is from a prompt game. And I did a whole bunch of those wolf ATCs. They're in here someplace. What did I do with those wolf ATCs? Here. Here's the wolf ATCs. This is the best one down here. Dee Dee Willingham inspired. Here's the sketch. I wanted to do a stamp of Penelope. She's over the cliff. I haven't rescued her yet. She's just down there taking it easy. But this was the sketch I did, and this is how it ended up. And I still use that as an icon. Used to have it as an icon on YouTube, but we've updated her since then. And I need to do another stamp. Here's the old, this is coming up, the old trusty antique show. They have that big book sale over at our county seat. Here's where I was just sketching some stuff around the kitchen. Sitting out in the kitchen sketching. Society of Idea Collector. Oh, and then we have a whole nother journal in the back. I rubber banded on. I wasn't done. And there's just a lot of stuff here. A lot of loose stuff. I'm going to put this in here. And I never really, it looks like I started it, but never really finished. Let's see what I have here. Oh, it looks like I was doing an index. This looks like the index here. Oh, I got all the pages numbered and what I did on them. So this is the index to this book. I forgot I even did an index. Some blank pages. Junk Jaunt sack packet back cover. Huh. And then I have a bunch of blank pages. Then, this is where I went on that Junk Jaunt. And this is stuff. This is stuff. And I glued the sack in there. And this is from the Junk Jaunt. What's in there? I think it's just, well, we'll see what it is. It's just stuff from the Junk Jaunt. It looks like some fussy cuts, newspaper article. What's this? It's a mind map. We did a mind map on Dr. Somebody or other. I'm not going to pull it all out. It's a great big old mind map. And it's just loose stuff that I wanted to put in my, here's a big old light bulb. Ingenuity, American Ingenuity. I'm going to put it back in here. If I can. My very first Society of Idea Collector book, totally inspired by our one and only Dee Dee Willingham, who deserves more credit than she gets, believe me. I'm going to put it down like this and put this index over it. And I think I just had it rubber band on here. So, I highly recommend doing a Society of Idea Collector. Now, I've got another one after this, and then I started a new one last year, and I haven't been working in it. I need to get it out. It's down below my feet, but I'm going to keep this out and put it with my larger journals. Let me come out and look at chat. I got into idea collecting, and there we go. I was lost in space there. Let me grab a journal. Here, we'll put this one out for you to look at while I'm looking at chat. And of course, everything's crooked again. Let me adjust my camera again. Well, see, I can't see how crooked it is up here. Oh, let me come out and look at chat. Mina says, I've done the same, Arlene. I can't drag my journal around, so scraps of paper do fine. And then that's what I tape in. Oh, that's fine to do that. Sometimes with what you see with what I showed you in my Society of Idea Collector, you know, I take it out to my recliner and write in it. It's a composition book. So a lot of that I did while I was seated in my recliner. Paula said she needs to run, but I'll be listening. Roy said, my mind map has no labels, no direction, and no direction. Well, that's okay, Roy. You don't have to. Just do you. You do you. Mina says, same here. Well, sometimes an idea hits me and I start writing on junk mail, Arlene says. Mina says, I always do my mind map and Society of Idea Collectors interspersed with my regular journals, which include art and writing. And that's a good idea, too. You do not need a separate idea journal. If you're working in your 2023 art journal and you're working on a mind, that's perfectly okay to put your mind map in there. You know, you do you do what works for you. Maybe your Society of Idea Collector is a part of your journal. It's nice to have a separate one to look at, though. You know, you do what works for you. That's the point. But the real point is to document your ideas if you don't, like Dee Dee says, write it down, collect them. It's collecting your ideas, and even though you may not work on them, you put that bit of inspiration down, and maybe 7 years later you're looking at it and say, oh yeah, and that might spark something. Who came in? Icy. Hi, Icy. Good morning, Icy. Let's see. They're talking about mind maps. I keep losing Meri. Aww. I'm sorry, Becky. Becky, did you get your lawn mowed? Roy's channel, Aunt Beck's channel. I'm going to have to, I can't go too much longer here. I'm not even halfway through these journals that I want to show you. We're going to pick it up again tomorrow. I need to get my envelopes. My painted envelopes, birds are almost done. Well, I think the envelopes are done, and I'm working on Karen's bluebird. I was working on those gold wings yesterday. But I wanted to show you these journals because I need to get them put away, but I didn't want to put them away until I did a flip of them. So we'll finish our flip tomorrow. Arlene dropped some links to Rory and Aunt Beck's and Dee Dee's channel. Meri doesn't have a Society of Idea playlist, but I saved some of hers playlist on my channel, and she dropped a list. I think I have one, but it may not be called a playlist. I'm going to have to get them all in. The reason I don't have a playlist is most of my Society of Idea collecting that I do, I don't film. You know, like I said, I'm sitting there in my, I am sitting in there in my recliner. Like that story. I didn't develop that story online. So I might have a couple flips. But I don't have a playlist like Dee Dee does, because I won't use the word teach, she shares. Dee Dee likes to share, and she really shares how to do Society of Idea collecting, and that's where I got all my inspiration was. Dee Dee deserves big thumbs up. Becky said, I just got a glass of water. She's taking a break from mowing the lawn. Unfortunately, that means I will be mowing in the heat. Oh, Becky, don't overdo it. She said, the front is mowed, and I have to wait for the sun to dry the back. Yeah, I had to do that too, Becky. And in fact, we have, like, I call it water grass. I'm not real sure what it is, but it grows fast and it grows tall. And it holds the morning dew. And it's out there by our cornfield, and I understand, because you can't, it holds on to that, and it was like 1 or 2 o'clock in the afternoon before I could even, but I found out, like, I have a hand mower, and when I'm going down to mow, like I say, this is the part I'm going to mow here, that's, you know, I do not do the whole row, like what the mower will do that whole row. I only do half when it's wet. And it works, you know, like this part I've already mowed, and this part is next. So I only do half of it. And then sometimes when it's so tall, I come with my mower, I kind of tilt my mower back and let the mower come up over it. Like, here's the mower part, and I'll tip it up like that, and then I'll come down on it, rather than try to go through it. Here I am giving Becky lawn mowing tips. Just how I do it. There's the playlist for Dee Dee's Society of Idea Collector. Thank you, Arlene. Roy's waving to Sylvia. Hi, Sylvia. I call her Sylvia P. Pelican. Good morning, Sylvia. I want to welcome you in, everybody in. Sometimes I miss people. I don't mean to, but you know, when you get going and you're all involved in what you're doing, sometimes people kind of sneak in. And sometimes I don't see people until somebody says hello, and then I'm going, where are they? You know, I was looking all over for eternity. Never did find eternity until Becky said, Meri, we tried to tell you. Joyce is here. She said, I had a lovely birthday, so I'm caught up there. Rory says, I'm ready to adopt a pair of goats to do the lawn. Isn't that the truth? I don't think we can have goats in our yard. The dogs would probably go crazy, the neighborhood dogs. But, a little gal stopped. I told this the other day. A little gal stopped and knocked at the door. She knocked at the front door, and our front door, you know, this is an old house, and our front door stuck, and I couldn't get it open, and I knew she was out there, and I pulled and I'm, you know, the heat and the humidity, it warps the wood. So I went over to the side door and I yelled at her, come over here. And she said, would you like me to mow your lawn for you? You can pay me whatever you want. And I hemmed and hawed because our lawn is not just an even flat piece of ground. It has bumps and lumps. And finally I thought, well, she had a riding mower, so that's, you know, it isn't like she's going to step in a hole. But I kind of hesitated, and so she said, I just want to earn some money. And I thought, you know, I remember being that age where, you know, this is August, kids are thinking about going back to school, and they want school money. I remember that. And they can't go out until you're 15 or 16 years old. It's pretty hard to get a job. Well, I didn't know how old she was, but my heart went out to her when she said, I just want to earn some money. And I'm going, okay, you do the South Terrace, and we call the lawn, we have maybe a 25-foot strip that goes from the road here down to the alley, and it's probably about 25 feet maybe long, and that's pretty flat. And I thought, well, that would be easy for her to mow, you know, just zit, 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 zit. And I warned her, I said, I got a watermelon plant over there, don't kill my watermelon plant. And I took her out there and showed her where to mow and where not. And then she mowed over on this side. This is east, this is south, and this is east. Well, really, that's north in all reality, but on my story, this is east. And we've got a little, we call it a terrace, another 25-foot strip that kind of, the corner is here, the corner road comes around this way. And I told her not to mow this because he's got bricks there and I've got stuff in there. And I said, just mow this side here and the South Terrace, and we'll see how it goes. And she went all around and picked up sticks, and she was putting them, we have a sidewalk out over here, and she's putting them on that sidewalk. And I said, oh, that's nice of you to do that. I'll pick them up and take them over to my brother's truck, and we'll put them in the bed of the truck. And then on the days that they open up the junkyard, we take them out. They have a lawn and leaf area there where you can drop off, you know, yard waste. And I said, when they opened up the junkyard, we'll take them out there. And I thought she was just going to pick up sticks. And I turned around and she'd taken all of those branches and loaded them in the bed of the pickup. And I thought, well, that's nice. You know, I didn't ask her to do that. And so I noted that. And she mowed it. She mowed it really nice. It's still pretty. I think she had her blade a little bit lower than what we usually do. So it mowed it pretty close to the ground. So I won't have to mow unless it rains hard again. And this is August. It doesn't grow as fast in August that it does in March. So after she got done, I gave her the money and I said, can you come back tomorrow? And she wasn't sure. And I said, well, she was still mowing. She wasn't quite done. She was still mowing in the front. And she did a good job. And so after she was done there, I said, well, if you can't come back tomorrow, do you have time today? And I'll pay you to do the back. This is the house. We've got a north terrace and a backyard. Our garden's over here. And so I paid her extra to do that. And I think she did a good job. You know, I paid her $40 to do my brother said, $40? It isn't worth $40. And I'm going, you know, $40 today it does not buy what it did even 2 years ago. $40 is not a lot of money today. And you know, she's trying to earn money for school, and so I gave her 20 to do this side and 20 to do that side. She seemed happy. She did an excellent job. Look, it's already 7:30. It's already 7:30. Dee Dee Willingham, our inspiration, our Society of Idea Collector Inspiration, is going to be on in 1 minute. So we'll pick up with this tomorrow. This was a gift to me. So I want you all to have a really good day. Yeah, I thought so too, Arlene. But I asked her what grade. She was only a 7th grader. She looked a lot older. I thought maybe she was a sophomore in high school. She was only a 7th grader. So I think $40 was fair. My brother thought it was outrageous. He thought maybe, well, we'll give her $5 or $10, you know. That's what you would have done 20, 30 years ago. All right, everybody, have a super great day. I need to sign off. Bye. I'll be on tomorrow at 6 o'clock a.m. Central. Thank you to everybody in the balcony, and thank you to everybody watching the replay. Have a great day. Bye.